What's everyone? It's Matt Brozick, and I was doing videos on this, but I just stopped because again I get painting and I go, and I didn't end up doing any videos on this build. Not gonna be a whole lot of videos in the near future because I just need to paint. The next project I'll try to do videos on. It's a kit I've never done before, so I'll try to do video series on this. But this is the second paint up of the Superman Forever. I call it the Daily Planet Superman. I know that's not what it's called, but it says Daily Planet on the base, so that's what I call it. So that's just how I am. So anyway, this is just a quick little, again, wrap up review video of this really cool kit. This is not for sale. This is already been sold. I've actually got to ship this out today or tomorrow to get a better exposure because it's really bright right now. So this is the second one I've painted up. The first one I did for Sam, and he's actually raffling that one off in group 18. So I'll put a link down below to the group if you're interested in trying to win that one. This one was a much smoother to put together. The first one I did, all the magnets in the heads were in the wrong place. So before I built the kit, if you put the head on, the head didn't line up. So I had to dig all the magnets out and reposition them. This one, the magnets were in the right place. So maybe my first one was just a fluke. I don't know. This is number 2 in the edition size. I'm not sure how many kits were made. I know I've done 2 of them, so I'm not sure exactly how many are made. Obviously, right now I have the Kingdom Come portrait on, with the Kingdom Come logo, and I got this all done. I did the final photos. I went to go post the photos. Like shit, I painted one of the logos wrong. The Fletcher logo I painted wrong, and I did that on the very first one too. So I'd already taken all the photos. I broke all my photo gear down. I was like, you know what? I'm not sitting back up to take photos. But this is the Fletcher symbol, and I did the same thing on the first one. Basically, I painted it like the classic symbol with the yellow background and red S, when actually it should be a black background, red S, and the yellow border. So, you know, it didn't take me too long to repaint it. I basically had to just mask off the yellow, spray that, and then I hand painted the black. So, it took me 45 minutes to repaint it. So, not the end of the world, but I wish I would have had really good photos with this in there because it's a cool looking symbol. So this is a little wrap-up video for my client because I need to show him how to switch out the heads because he's asking me, do I have to heat up the collar? Yes, you do have to heat up the collar to switch out the heads. I know that Sam had posted a video of the production pieces where they weren't heating up the collar, but the thing about the guys in China is they can use better paints than we can. So they have all these really great like lead-based paints, which are much more durable than what we, the acrylics and stuff we use. So even though the paints are durable on this, it's not to the point where you can switch out the heads without possibly damaging it. So I'm going to show a little demonstration of how to do that. But working from the top down, really happy with my skin tones. I'm starting to actually get a really good hang for skin tones. Let me get a better exposure right about there. Super happy with these. They look really natural, very realistic. I've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos. Again, I'm going to call out Roberto. I always forget his name, damn it. Anyway, I picked up his little flecking technique, and I did it on the Wolverine I did 2 weeks ago. And it's a really effective technique to get really realistic under skin tone. So you get all like the freckling and tonal differentiations in the skin, and then you start layering on your skin tones and pastels and stuff like that, and it gives it a really nice look. Now, when I look at this through my camera on the back of my phone, it adds a lot of red, so I'm not sure how this is going to look on your computer, but on my phone, it looks really red. He's not this red. It's very naturalistic. I love the hair turned out really good. This is a better paint job than on the first one I did. You do it once and you kind of learn from your first one. And just a few things, like the blue's a little bit darker than the first one I did. I like this a little bit better. The skin tones are better, more natural, realistic. Again, every time I do skin tones, they get better because I pick up new techniques and new tricks and try new things. The eyes are actually hand painted, which is new for me. I'm running out of decals, so I'm actually having to hand paint the eyes, which they're actually really good, I think, for someone who's not really good at hand painting eyes. This kit was a better kit in general. The fit was better. On the first one, I had to do some fitting fixes and stuff. The only thing I had to do was fix the gap between the shirt and the pants, and that was relatively easy. So, you know, my Bondo trick and kind of thing, I did that. Moving down, the belt's a little darker than the first one, but it matches the shoes. My client wanted brown shoes, so we did that. Another thing I did differently, instead of painting this whole top part brown for the belt, I actually just painted the front stripe of it. Excuse me. So you can actually see the pants and then the belt. Like, it makes more sense than doing the whole thing brown, because it's one of my little nitpicks on this piece is that this part right here, this top part, is super thick. I mean, it's like 3 times thicker than it should be. The belt's really thick. This whole area is thick. I think it should be much thinner. So just when you paint that whole thing brown, it looks really weird. It looks like he's wearing a donut around his waist. So I just painted the very front edge of that brown, so it'd be the belt and then the pants. On the suit, pretty much kept it the same as black, but the shading is a little more prominent. You can actually see it here in the video. I brightened the highlights a little bit more. So I started lighter than the first one. You can actually see it really good here in the camera. So the shading is much more prominent. It's still in the photos, it's really hard to see, but in person it looks very, very natural. So I say this all the time, when I paint for what this will look like in person, not in a video or a photo, because it is different. And then we have the base, which I did very similar to the first one I did, but it's a little darker, which I like. Brighten it up just a hair. But the patina is actually was Sam's idea on the first one, so this particular client liked that, and we just went with it again. And I added a little more patina with a little darker kind of greenish tone to it, so it's a little more weathered. And then the base overall is a little bit darker, which I think is a nice pop against him standing there. And then we got the leather shoes again. Those turned out really nice. And then kind of going back up top, here I should have talked about this. For the tie, this particular client just wanted a black tie with red stripes, so that's what I did. Let me bring that exposure down again. Try to. There we go. Try to get closer to what it actually is. Every time I try to do an autofocus, it brightens it up. Then we have the glasses here. Again, another little crit of mine are the glasses. I wish they were just a little bit bigger. They're a tad small for his head. And not that you put it on the Kingdom Come suit head, but I'm going to put him on anyway. But if you want to put him on his face, I like his glasses on the Clark Kent portrait. But the arms are too short. They don't, whoops, they don't go over his ears. So that's another, that's like, I have 2 crits. The glasses, the arms could be longer, and the belt is too thick. So speaking of the tie, it fits in there actually really nicely. It goes around the neck here, and there's a little key underneath the neck here that pops into, and it fits in very nicely. I didn't even notice it had a key on the first one. So I think in the photos, it's just kind of sitting in there when I took the final photos. But really happy with this. So let's take out the tie and do some switch outs. You've got 3 heads. Basically you have this Kingdom Come, and then you have like a Clark Kent portrait, and then I guess just classic Superman. I guess my terminology is going to be wrong, but here's how you switch out the heads. Not that hard, but you do have to use a hairdryer because this is very tight in here. And the material Sam used on this piece is excellent. It's very high quality. His legs are hollow. This is all hollow, but it's a polyurethane resin, meaning it's very durable. And actually, before they did the production, he was showing videos of the factory taking like the legs and throwing them on the ground, and nothing broke. They just bounced. So very, very high quality. The shirt and the jacket are actually clear. I think they're vinyl because I was trimming it, and it's clear. So it's actually a clear material, and it's very pliable. So it's, you know, when you're actually building the kit, and if you have never built one of these, getting the arms on and getting this all lined up is a little tricky. But if you just heat everything up, get a hairdryer and get it nice and warm, and like glue one arm on and get it where it needs to be, and then let that sit, and you put the hands on very last. Let that dry and let that cool down. Then you heat up the other side, get it really nice and warm and soft. Put the other arm in, glue it, let that dry really well, and then you heat up this part of the shirt and this jacket, get them really soft. Then you glue the hands in and just hold them there while it cools, and it all stays very, very nicely. So it's a lot of heating and stuff to get things to fit and go in, but it's very, high quality, and the seams fit really well on the arms and stuff. So having done with the first one, I learned a few little tricks in doing this one, which made it easier to build. The first one wasn't hard. I just, if you never built a kit before, you learn from the first one and it's like Hellboys. As I do Hellboys, I found a few tricks to make my life a little bit easier. All right, so it's gonna get lax. I have to use a hairdryer, but I'm gonna heat up basically the shirt, the white shirt. I'm gonna heat around the backside and the front of the collar. And don't use a heat gun. If you use a heat gun, you will melt your piece. It'll melt it. The hairdryer will not melt it. It'll just warm it up. So you're pretty okay of not hurting the paint. This doesn't get hot enough to hurt the paint. Now I'm sure if you left it on there long enough, you might do something to the paint, but I'm not going to do it that long. Maybe 20, 30 seconds. So I do the sides. And then I try to blow some air up underneath. And you can see it's already soft. It softens up pretty quick. Okay. So then what you want to do is you want to pull it out like this and rotate it out this way. Okay? And now while it's still kind of warm, I'm going to put in the Clark Kent. So I'm going to put in this side first and then rotate it in, and it goes right in. Now, if you happen to get a little paint rub, which you might, from the shirt underneath the collar there, just get a Q-tip, and I just dampen it a little bit with saliva, and I just go in there and wipe it off, and it comes off. There's plenty of sealer on this piece, so if that happens, it's a tight fit. So, and I can't get the Q-tip up there, so I'm just getting a little toothpick that's damp, and I'm just taking that little white scuff mark off. So it's just part of the nature of this piece. Just like that. And now he's on. Okay, and then let's put on. I'm gonna put on this. I'm not a real fan of the Fletcher symbol. I don't know. I don't like it. I like the classic look. Magnet's very strong for that logo. It goes in, and then you can put the tie on. This is my favorite look of the piece right here. Oops, it's upside down. Again, just like that. And then this is where I wish the glasses were better. I like this look with the glasses on. This to me is kind of the epitome of this piece. This Clark Kent answering the call, turning himself into Superman. So that to me so if maybe I would just leave out the other portrait. I would have done maybe the Kingdom Come and this portrait, and that's it. That's just me. Speaking of portraits, look at a close-up here. I'm super happy with this. It looks so good. So I've been starting to go in and add, just with some watercolors, adding some rouge to the cheeks and certain parts of the face, and it's getting real. My skin tones are getting much better every time, so I'm actually enjoying doing portraits now. I always save skin tones for last because it's the part I dread the most, and usually takes me the longest. A year ago, to do these 3 heads would have taken me over a day, maybe 2 days to do the portraits. Now I can do. It would probably take me 1 day to do 1 portrait because I'm always fighting colors and layers and stuff. But now I'm kind of getting some techniques down. I got all 3 of these done in a day. It was a 12-hour day, but I got them done. It was a very long day, but it looks really good. Super happy with those. Okay, so that's the Clark Kent portrait, which is my favorite look for this piece. I'll show the briefcase here. Oh, also, it's got a briefcase. I'll back up and show that. So here's the briefcase. Again, leather, weathered, and it's kind of cool. I mean, I like it. The one thing I don't like about the briefcase is that it covers up the base. It's pretty big, but it isn't to scale, so it makes sense. So, like if I was displaying this piece in my collection, which I really don't have a collection because I sell everything, I'd probably put it on here, but I might put it towards the back and maybe laying down like that. So there actually is a little indentation here in the base which tells me that's where it's supposed to go. It's supposed to kind of go like that. So that's probably how I would do it. Because when it's standing up, it's pretty... Your eye goes to the briefcase. But that's just me. It's pretty big. I do like it. I think it's a nice touch. And it's solid. It's very heavy. Alright, let's back to this guy. Alright, now we'll switch out to the other head. Get my exposure down again. To get a more accurate look. Right about there somewhere. I take the tie off. Take the glasses off. And then the glasses you can put over here kind of in his hand. There's a very tight spot to put him in, but you can put him there like he's holding on to them. Like you just took them off. I like them. I like the glasses on this, with him wearing them on this portrait. That's my favorite look for this piece. Alright, let's take this off. Oh, another thing for my client who's going to watch this, be careful of the brim of the hat. It's very thin and it's very fragile. So whatever you do, do not pull up on this portrait by the brim of the hat. You will rip it off and then you'll be sad. So when you're working with this portrait, grab it by the chin and the top of the hat. Okay. I did that on the first kit I did. I went to go pull it off and I ripped I had to fix the rim. It was a nightmare. Heat this up. It heats up pretty quick, so you don't have to do this too long. Again, chin, top of the hat. You're going to pull from the side and twist out. So if you get any paint rub, it's going to be on this side of his neck, his left, and then it goes right in and it fits perfectly. Let's go and switch out to the Fletcher symbol, which is not my favorite, but again, I'm not a comic guy, so I don't even know what that means. I'm assuming he's an artist. Fletcher is an artist. I don't know. I just like these sculpts and everything. I like painting them. I've had a few guys tell me, you should get into comics and read comics. Like, man, that's the last thing I need. There's something else I need to get into. So there we go. All right, so there's the last portrait. Yeah, looking good. Let's just get a close up of the Clark Kent portrait. Focus. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Looking really good. Super happy with that. Alright, so back to this guy. Alright, so this will wrap up this video, but yeah, I'm really happy with this. I think my client's going to love it. It's going to look good in his collection. But yeah, so you know, to do this piece, now that I know how to do it, if I did another one, I could actually, if I did nothing but work on this, I could get one built and painted in about 4 days. So it takes me about hour-wise 50 to 60 hours to do one of these, or 40 to 50 hours, I should say, which isn't too bad for a quarter scale piece. It just goes to show the quality of the kit. You know, the higher the quality, the less time it takes. So yeah, if you guys have one, you want me to do it, let me know. I'll be happy to do it. I'm not sure how many kits are out there, to be honest. I know I've done 2. I think there may have been 5. I could be wrong. And there's a really cool the vinyl sticker on the bottom, and I'll show it to you real quick. Oh, another thing for my client, when you watch this. So the peg in the foot is a very tight fit. He's actually kind of loose in the key. He's not going to fall over, but the peg is very tight. So when you go to take him out, you don't want to wobble him back and forth. Once you get in the hole, just kind of wiggle it just very slightly, and it'll go in. And when you take it out, again, just wiggle it very slightly, just like that, just a little bit. And you can see he's very solid. I mean, he's not coming apart. This has all been epoxied together. Let me put him over here for a second. Got a towel over here to put him on. And then the bottom of the base, which I love, right there. So 2 of 10, I guess 2 of 10 kits. I think the first one I did was number 1. I can't remember. It's for Sam. And I'll sign this. I'll put my signature, painted by Matt Morozic, put the date on it for him. That way he can say it's a signed piece, at least by the painter. But there you go. That's my wrap-up video for this, my only video for this piece. But it's a great piece, and I enjoy doing it again. So I will get this packed up and shipped out to my clients. Going to Italy. Pretty cool. I think it's going to Italy. Italy or Spain. So that's pretty neat. And the next one will be, the next project on the bench is going to be a Naren Wolverine, which I have not done with one before, so I'm excited about that. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time.